Shalom, this is 3 minutes on the Parasha, Vayakhel. Parashat Vayakhel, we continue the work of the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. And there is a pasuk, verse Hey 5, that says, K'chu me'etchem truma l'Hashem. Take from yourselves an offering of generosity for the divine. So this is the theme that is recurring, this notion of truma, that actually the most precious thing, the Mishkan, the place that we hold, that we create to welcome the divine presence, the Shekhinah, is actually made of generosity. And also this question, not this question, but rather this theme that the Meor Einaim keeps bringing back, that actually the Mishkan is a symbol. The Mishkan is us, really. So he says, K'chu me'etchem, take from yourselves. This is you, actually. The offering is the offering of yourself. And while these parashot around the building of the Mishkan may seem very, very pragmatic and materialistic, all about measures and architecture and materials and how to build what and who does what, so much so that sometimes some of us may tend to skip, like this parashot in Sefer Vayikra. If we take the Hasidic reading of really seeing this as a symbol and as a prompt for inquiry, it becomes actually deep spiritual exploration. And the question is, what does it mean for me to make space? What does it mean to make space? And if the idea of making space for the divine presence to rest within us may seem too esoteric, this is actually something that we encounter in everyday life, that if we want to connect, we need to make space. And whether we know it consciously or not, this is something we already do. Like, for instance, making space can be clearing space in our calendar to make space to meet someone that matters, or actually offering our deep listening to someone, or agreeing to set aside for a moment our beliefs and needs so that we can really make space for the needs of the others, right? These are all ways that we make space because we want to connect. And there is another way of making space that is actually very, very deep into Jewish culture, although now it's less common in our culture, unfortunately, and that's the culture of hospitality. That's been a bit lost for so many reasons in terms of cultural shift in Western society, but that is still very, very central in Jewish culture. And the Meor Einaim reminds us, this pasuk from the Talmud, that actually welcoming a guest, achnasat ha'orchim, is even more important than welcoming the Shekhinah, the divine presence. Because, he reminds us, guests are to be seen as really messengers, shlichim of the divine, that they're here to raise our sparks. And what are these sparks? Maybe these sparks are our capacity for generosity and simplicity and humility, of making space and saying, this is my home, and maybe it's not the most beautiful home or the biggest, or maybe I'm not the best cook, or maybe, I'm not the most charismatic host, but this is my home, this is what I have to offer, and I'm just going to invite you and share that space with you and open my space to you and invite you to bless me with your presence. This is hospitality. It actually takes both generosity and humility to make space and a heart to look around and see who might need a table tonight, who might need company tonight. And so this is my invitation for you as we're coming closer to Pesach. And we know that in Pesach, the Haggadah opens with this line that, everybody who's hungry should come and eat. So that's my invitation for you, is maybe to look around and think actually actively, could there be someone who would be in need of hospitality? And can I open my home and share with my generosity? Right? Take from myself and offer myself so that we can connect deeper together with each other and then with the divine. This was 3 minutes on the Parasha. If that spoke to you, feel free to comment and to share. Shabbat Shalom.